Have you ever cried out to God before the sun even rises, before the world begins to spin and your feet hit the floor? Have you whispered a desperate, half-awake prayer? Lord, I need you today. Psalm 5 opens with that kind of early, aching cry. Give ear to my words, O Lord. Consider my sighing. Listen to my cry for help, my King and my God. For to you I pray. In the morning, Lord, you hear my voice. In the morning, I lay my requests before you and wait expectantly. This isn't a calm, collected morning devotion. This is a soul on its knees before coffee, before clarity, before anything else. It's a raw, reverent pursuit, a recognition that before David does anything, he must speak to his God, and not just speak. Plead, lay out everything, and then wait. That's the part we often skip, isn't it? The waiting. We pray and move on, distracted by deadlines, devices, and demands. But David prays and waits, not with boredom, not with frustration, but expectantly, like a man who knows something is coming, like someone who's seen God move before. And right here, we see something sacred. David sees prayer not as a ritual, but as a relationship. He doesn't throw words into the void. He speaks to his king, his God, and he believes that God hears. This psalm isn't just about words. It's about posture, about coming to God before anything else lays a claim on our attention. Before the chaos, before the decisions, before the battle, David chooses worship over worry. He brings his heart before the Lord first thing in the morning, not to perform, but to position himself under the authority of a faithful God. But then the psalm shifts, and it's not gentle. You are not a God who takes pleasure in evil. With you the wicked cannot dwell. The arrogant cannot stand in your presence. You hate all who do wrong. That's a side of God we don't often talk about in morning devotionals. But David isn't softening the truth. He's drawing a bold line. Holiness matters. Evil has no place before a righteous God. And David's not claiming he's perfect. He's recognizing the kind of God he's approaching. In a world that celebrates pride and compromise, David is sobered by God's character. He understands this isn't a God to manipulate. This is a God to honor, a God who loves justice, who is grieved by sin, who stands against wickedness. But listen to this shift. But I, by your great love, can come into your house. In reverence, I bow down toward your holy temple. David knows he doesn't come by merit. He doesn't enter God's presence because he's better than others. He comes because of God's mercy, because of God's great love. That's what makes worship possible. That's what gives the sinner access to the sanctuary. And now the plea. Lead me, Lord, in your righteousness because of my enemies. Make your way straight before me. David's enemies are real. His obstacles are present, but his request isn't for vengeance or escape. It's for guidance, for clarity, for a straight path, for the wisdom to walk in God's way, even when others are trying to pull him off course. This is a powerful prayer for anyone navigating opposition, betrayal, or pressure. It's not, God, remove them. It's, God, lead me. Because when you follow God's path, no enemy can truly derail you. Then David paints a vivid picture of the wicked. Their mouths are unfaithful, their hearts destructive, their words deceptive. He's not ranting. He's being real. Evil isn't just an idea. It's something that harms, corrupts, and destroys. And yet, David ends not in judgment, but in joy. But let all who take refuge in you be glad. Let them ever sing for joy. Spread your protection over them, that those who love your name may rejoice in you. Surely, Lord, you bless the righteous. You surround them with your favor as with a shield. This is where Psalm 5 lands. Not in fear, but in favor. Not in bitterness, but in blessing. For those who take refuge in God, there is joy, there is covering, there is a celebration, and there is shield-like favor and invisible, powerful defense that wraps around those who trust in Him. So here's the message of Psalm 5. Start your day with God, not out of habit, but from hunger. Come to Him not with pride, but with reverence. Don't just speak. Wait, don't just ask. For rescue, ask for leadership. Don't focus on what the enemy is doing. Focus on the protection and favor God promises. Let your mornings be filled with truth. Let your decisions be led by righteousness. Let your enemies remind you not of fear, but of your dependence on God. And let your heart be anchored in the kind of joy that only comes from taking refuge in the Lord. This is the kind of faith that doesn't get shaken by noise. This is the kind of worship that begins before the sun is up. This is the kind of protection that no weapon can penetrate. Let Psalm 5 be your morning anthem. Let it remind you that God is not distant. He hears your cry. He leads your path. He surrounds you with favor, and He is worthy of your first breath, your first prayer, and your full trust. Now pause and imagine David finishing this prayer before the sun fully rises. He's still surrounded by enemies. His kingdom still feels fragile, but his confidence isn't based on the outcome. It's based on the character of God. That's a different kind of power, the kind that stands firm, even when the winds keep howling. David knows something we forget. Victory doesn't always look like winning. Sometimes it looks like not giving up. Sometimes it's choosing to keep praying when the silence is deafening. Sometimes it's refusing to match evil for evil. Because we trust that God sees and God will act, He says, let all who take refuge in you be glad. Not all who win, not all who get revenge, not all who have it easy, but those who take refuge, those who run to God and hide in His strength. Those are the ones who find joy. We often chase joy in the wrong places. We think it comes from resolution, from closure, from everything finally working out. But David flips that on its head. He says joy comes from trusting God even before anything changes, even while the arrows are still flying. Psalm 5 ends on a high note, but it's not a naive one. It's not a fairy tale ending. David is still in the fight, but his heart is anchored in the right place. Surely, Lord, you bless the righteous. You surround them with your favor as with a shield. That shield isn't made of steel. It's made of favor, of divine love, of a covering that can't be seen, but can absolutely be trusted. That's the kind of shield no enemy can penetrate. And if you've ever felt like the battle around you is too much, remember this. Favor doesn't mean ease. It means presence. God is with you. God is for you. And God surrounds you with exactly what you need to keep standing. So tonight, or tomorrow morning, or whenever the pressure returns, go back to Psalm 5. Let it shape your prayer. Let it be your honest cry and your steady reminder. God hears, God leads, God defends, and He will never leave you exposed. You're not alone. I want to hear from you. Write amen in the comments to let others know they're not alone either. And if you want more heartfelt reflections like this, make sure to like the video, subscribe, and tap the notification bell so you don't miss any future videos. Thanks for watching.